Niger president supporters protest. AU ECOWAS condemn coup plot. That's the situation in Niger at the moment. Resident doctors strike grounds hospitals. Former PDP BOT chair describes home raid by suspected bandits. Those are a few of the headlines you would find on The Punch. Tinubu pleads for more time as NLC issues strike notice. That is also a headline you would see. And this one is interesting. Musa, why I sell fuel at 580 naira per litre. This is referring to the Super Eagles footballer Ahmed Musa, who sells reduced price. Says he reduced the price of premium of petrol in Kanu. If you want to find out his reasons, well, go there and get yourself a copy of The Punch and look into it. Okay, more headlines. Workers' salaries increased to cushion rising cost. Wema Bank. Okay, that's what we have there on the Punch newspaper. We'll take some more headlines on the Vanguard and The Nation. But first, okay, National Assembly to unveil ministerial list today. Akpabio's aide. So let's wait and see, and then we can have a proper conversation when we see certain names that are there or not there. In the meantime, on Facebook, we are Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. So join the conversation. You can watch and you can listen live on Facebook and on Twitter. On Twitter, it is Nigeria Info PH. The numbers to call are 0817 923 0007. You can call the number 0817-923-0007. You can also call 0817-923-0003. Any of those numbers, and you'll be a part of the conversation. Okay, let's take some WhatsApp messages first before we go on with the calls. This one here says, on the Ignatius Ajuru issue, the VC was supposed to go with the employed staff. But why is the VC still in office? Yeah, the VC is untouchable. Okay, you didn't state your name, but then I see your point. If people were employed, and I get the point you're making. Well, but I'm not in a position to tell why the VC still retained his job. Governor Fubara justifying cancellation of Ignatius' employment is a good one. He should equally do the same to recently concluded computer-based test of River State Civil Service Commission. Many people could not do the test due to poor network service. Bishop John from Eche. NLC protest holds no water because they have lost their values due to selfish interest. Ezekiel Isaiah. I think it's similar thing with the NARD that I looked at, where they were saying looking into the matter does not translate to solving or meeting their demands. And I'm saying, if you understood this, why did you call it off the first time you went on the strike? It is just the same problem that we keep getting into, and then the people would suffer for it at the end of the day. At least now ASU has made a statement with theirs, because everybody understood that it was the court and government went to court and the courts were responsible for forcing ASU back to class. So now people no longer would say, oh, ASU did, because we saw how ASU was determined to drag that strike to make sure that they get what they need before they call it off, even if lecturers also were seriously affected and their own children were also at home. Now, if you knew that the government saying we will look into it does not mean meeting the demands, why did you then suspend the strike in the first place? If you have decided to say we are going on strike regardless and patients will suffer, then please do it once, because it then becomes a problem when you do it once. Government says we'll meet, you call it off, and then you wait and you see, then you do it again, and then people keep suffering and suffering. Good morning. That cry for continued economic hardship is pathetic. Everybody should not only be hopeless, we should try and adjust with the administration of increment, inflation, and hardship. And which also brings me to question, if you saw one of the headlines where the president is asking for more time. In fact, even the news even said he had not been briefed about Labour's demands. And my question was, but we were able to have meetings. You were briefed on removing subsidy. You were briefed on increasing charges in different schools that has caused parents to pay pay more, and a couple of other implementations that you have been briefed on. So those things were more important than workers or Nigerians. To say that there's nobody who has briefed the president on workers, and it's shocking. It is shocking. Just tell us your name and where you're calling from. Nigeria Info. Good morning.
Yeah, Andre Femi, good morning.
You're welcome.
David from Nkorom.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to thank His Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, to visit that matter. Yes. I want to commend the National Youth Chairman, Chuyeke Nwo. He has tried. I want to also thank the Governor. Please, that he should help and reappoint those who that are the real people. And the ministerials that will be reviewed today. Yes. Today, Rivers State people will be happy. I, Honorable Da, will be happy. I know a name I'm expecting will come out. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. Well, another message here says, good morning, Mr. Andrew. Residents lament petrol hike. This is a strong policy of Nigerians. It's unacceptable, and untold economic hardship and sufferings are also experiencing under this administration. It will be resisted. Onatek Clinton West. The president has said he needs more time. He has not been briefed. So my shock is why he has not been briefed, if indeed he has not been briefed. Who is supposed to brief him? And is it that those people or persons or agency or parastatal did not see how important this is? Hence the reason why they chose to brief the president on other things and left these ones. It's Temple is in Oyigbo. Good morning.
Good morning, the very distinguished Femi, and doing this morning.
Very fine, thank you. Go ahead.
I think I want to appeal the Nigerian police in their proactive so far. They're trying to tell me that they have increased the police checking points regarding the kidnap of the female journalist. But then increasing checking points and not doing the needful. I will appeal to the CP. Please, you should talk to his men on this issue of extortion. It will divide their attention. And as I said before, for a collaborative effort, they need to, work in synergy with the local security outfit. They talk of the hunters, they talk of the horseback, and for optimal performance. This woman needs to be released. We don't know what she might be passing through at this point in time. So it's a passionate appeal for the police to do the needful. This woman ought to be released on horse and safe. And for the governor clarifying the cancellation of appointment, I would say.
Hello, Temple. You'd have to call back.
Who is committed in making sure that the needful is being done for Rivers people. But I want to appeal to him to indeed do the needful and make sure those who are certified and qualified are being reappointed back for equity and justice. Thank you.
Listening to what the governor said, I was also trying to understand, because he said the academic staff are most important. So was it that less academic staff were employed, or didn't really get the detail? Was it that they had non-academic staff overly employed and the academic staff were not? It still seems unclear. Uche Kenineche, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Let me look at organized labor insisting on embarking on nationwide strike on 2nd of August. For me, maybe today where we run the see our people with Lamau, they are just seeking attention, I must tell you. You remember what happened on 5th of June? The headline reads, EUC and LLC boycotting a meeting with the federal government, insisting that fuel price should be brought to 195 naira per liter. But on the 5th of the same month, being the following day, another headline reads, EUC and NLC being labor suspend strike. Then you ask a question, what happened within 24 hours? Was the price of the fuel brought to 195 naira? Was there any promise made by federal government that warranted them to suspend the strike? So we are used to their pork and ball promises and the stories. Then President Tinubu asking Labour to give him more time. If you ask me, our president, but I will tell Labour not to give, even if they too have nothing to show and nothing to deliver. Now like this, we are carry on enter this bad junction. Every time former President Buhari will tell us, please, I just resumed office. Please, I am just coming. Give me more time to look into things. Now, so Buhari look into
All right,
things.
Ucheken, thank you. Point made.
Now, so me and you carry this.
Let's move on. Thank you very much. We have Clinton and Abinoye. Clinton is in Bori. Abinoye is in Abua. So, Clinton, we'll start with you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew.
Welcome.
Yeah, River State government gives reason on the cancellation of the Ignatius Bajor's University employment. And I am not comfortable with the reasons he has given. So it took them 9 months to see the irregularities that happened during the selection process. It's very bad. And it's unfortunate that the VC of that institution is still in office while others have been sacked. It's bad. Indeed, there is hunger in the land, and the processes in River State that led to employment have been shredded. Look at the last employment they did in River State Civil Service. They said they are about to give appointment letters rather. And we've not even seen the result of the test we took. Some people are not able to even write the test. Then secondly, on the right of insecurity in River State, it's pathetic, Andrew. It's pathetic that the woman have not been released up to now. Even in local government here, recently, a young boy was shot dead in broad daylight. Up to now, nobody has been caught. It's bad. And I think they have to put in active measures to contain these challenges that they're facing. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Clinton. Abinoye, good morning.
All right, good morning, Ifeanyi Andrew. Yes, NLC issue a warning strike. Yes, I just want to say that there was a meeting by organized labor and federal government. Unfortunately, they reneged on what they agreed on, and because of that, they want to go on strike. I don't have faith anymore in NLC because I know it's a paper tiger. My happiness is that Nigerians are the most malleable set of people. And for us to survive this situation now, I think we need to adjust. I think that is what we need to do to adjust this time, because any plea we make will fall on deaf ears, just pouring water on dog fowls. That's what the federal government is not interested in the humans. I think what they are interested is how much they will get in each of those parastatals. Now, the state government, federal scene, said that he has justified the reason for the nullification of that employment. And the reason is that they violated the order of state government. Well, we wouldn't know that order. But what were they doing? Was that employment not supervised for 8 months? Is it because it was time for them to pay the dues? And that is when they knew that the employment was faulty. I am told reliably that most persons paid up to the tune of £1 million to secure that job. And now that job has been cancelled. And I think that it is selfish. The state government should look into that employment. If they are doing the employment, they should do it now. Thank you.
All right, Abinoye, thank you. Well, quickly, were you supposed to pay to get employment in the first place? And how would that be the government or governor's fault if you had paid for unemployment and now faults are found? I think the focus is the school administration. The VC and every other person working with him who is supposed to be supervising that process are the ones that's supposed to be first looked at, because they supervised, they conducted the exams, they were the ones in charge. I don't think it was the governor who came to sit down there and say, okay, come and write, where's the list, let me see, who did you employ and how many and whatever. The school basically did that. And if anything had gone wrong, like many people are saying, the questions we'll be asking now is those people who organized this that did not know for how many months. I think then the government should first suspend all of them, every single one of them, and begin to look at the process again. And like you just said, possibly the government might have, this might have come to the attention of the government because, we have to pay. And then the government is looking at the statistics and say, this is the number of people we employed, or this is how the payment is supposed to be, this is the budget, and it's not matching what's happening. Maybe that was what led to an investigation. I don't know, I'm just saying. But it would be very difficult to say, oh, the governor is the person who. I think the VC of the school and every other person working with him are those that would need to address this problem and give the proper answers to questions that we're asking. Blessed Inalu, good morning.
Good morning, my brother in the studio.
Yeah, go on.
Senate said the federal government to extradite Sam Ekpa from his home abroad to Nigeria through Interpol. Yes, that's a good move because this has been from many people in Southeast to go do or undo something like a sit at home or cause unrest in the region. And besides, he's in home abroad flexing every day by day. People are dying in the old Southeast. Many of my friends that came from Southeast, they cannot go back to their home and they sleep and close their eyes because of misinformation this guy has done. And the state government, the Enugu, says that nothing like sit at home. When people do sit at home, they started to close their shop. That's a good development. And people start protesting. Why are you protesting? We don't have any two governments. We don't have any parallel government. We only have one government. When the state government say nothing like sit at home again, go and open your business, go and do it. If they refuse to adapt to the situation of state government, they are killing themselves. Because every day by day, people are dying in that Southeast. I'm appealing to federal government to do the needful and to make the move of that Senate to extradite Sam Ekpa because it's already misinformed people. Secondly, Governor of Rivers State, Binsimilayi Fubara, clear air on pertaining Ajuru University employment. Let me tell you one thing. People that already received the employment and letter since up to 8 or 9 months, what are you giving to them? Nothing. And then now you have retrieved letters of employment back from them. I don't understand what is happening in Rivers State. You know what people that I do, you can do and undo. I beg, they should do something. Thank you very much. I'm blessed from Malo.
All right, thank you very much. Good news in Mount 3. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother. Good morning this morning.
Yes, go ahead.
I am bent in my spirit this morning on hearing what the government is saying. I am happily annoyed. I am seriously happy that exam was conducted, advertisement was made, people applied, they went for screening test, you shortlisted out of the thousands, the millions shortlisted, the ones shortlisted, and they were duly given appointment letters under a permanent secretary, under the VC, and under a commissioner for education, because this Professor Mom the commissioner for education was the one in charge then, and persons have borrowed money, have told their landlords to give them time when they will pay their house rents. They've talked to their schools, children's schools, that when they pay their children's school fees. They are owing some their areas that they couldn't pay and brought money, and after 9 months, the governor should come back to say that is terminating the appointments because it not pass due process. When there are directors, supervisors to supervise what was happening, and just let them go like that. The teachers that were working will reduce their money from there for 4,000 naira. The civil servants that has been there since 8 years before he came in, no promotion, no nothing. The secretariat is in moribund, it's in shambles. Nobody can climb through the lift. And the ones that got employment, you chase them away. And you have the guts to tell us, why not take those persons and fix in other ministries? Not that it is not their fault. So, the first stage, not all.
All right, good news. Thank you very much. Korea is Nozoba. Good morning. Hello, Korea. All right, let's get on to JJ in Rumibo. JJ, good morning to you.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
You're welcome.
The state secretariat right now is under serious renovation and the lift is working very well. I just said I should keep that in. Special advisor to the president holding meeting with labor union over palliative and others. Andrew, my biggest concern right now is they are talking about palliative this, palliative that, bringing this. Nobody is telling us when the refinery will start working. That is where the whole problem comes from, where we are importing petrol. We have crude and everything here. Tell us when the refinery will start working locally. I will have dual effect from it. One, our people will get jobs. Secondly, we'll produce locally. Thirdly, the foreign exchange that we always look for to import this petrol, we will save it at home now. Is this rocket science for us to know? And the president asking for more time. Sir, I don't think you need more time. When you came to Rivers State here and our former governor told you that you should pay money, he said, you are new, you have not understand. But on the day you are accepting or giving acceptance speech, you remove subsidy. You were not new then. So whatever thing you're doing right now, you are not new, sir. It's not rocket science. Put the refineries work so that we can know how much is our cost of production, not this jargon called landing cost. It's not making any sense.
All right, JJ, thank you very much.
So those people who kidnapped that journalist, please, release her. She not get money. Journalists not get money.
All right, thank you, JJ. Point made. We have to move on. Messages on Facebook. This one says, if a bloated employment figure experienced that the National Jury speaks the volume of exact conditions of our real society. I think something Blessed said, which makes a lot of sense. Instead of just these people not getting anything, possibly other areas you think they can function, you move them there, because I'm sure people are needed in many of the ministries to work. Or have they been paid for the time that they worked? That's also another question that could come up. But again, I would say the first place to start from is if the government is saying that it really wants to ensure everybody suffers for it. The people that are employed, that were employed illegally,
to thrive in a fast.
Apologies for that. Have been asked to return their letters and then go back home. What about the people that conducted the process? The people that gave the order, that conducted the process. What punishment are they getting? Wanya Wilbioma says NLC and TUC should hide their faces in shame. And he says here again, hide their faces in shame. Thank God Abiajunwan says National Assembly to unveil ministerial list today. So the list we saw yesterday was fake. My brother, I wouldn't know. Let's wait for what happens today. Onyekachi says Samuel Ekpa, if they succeed in extraditing him, he should be brought to the table of National Assembly. See, quickly, I've said this before we go up for the commercial. I don't know if anybody recalls what happened in Warri Delta State, the crisis that happened at the time, 95, 96, that period. If you remember, that city of Warri that crisis was what brought Warri to what Warri is now, and it has not been able to recover till date. It has not gone back to the Wafi it used to be anymore. And when people do these things like what's happening in the southeast, it means that they haven't learned from what happened in Warri. And in a couple of years' time, you'll be struggling to catch up with development when other people have gone quite ahead, all because of these sort of actions. It's really painful. And I think more should be done to address that problem. If the government says, oh, don't obey it at home, are you protecting the people? Because let's face the reality. People get hurt when they decide to obey the government. People, they are attacked. So what is being done to stop that from happening? Ifeami Andrew is my name. Good morning.
Nigeria Info. Right back after this.